Assalamualaikum and very good morning to those who are watching. My name is Farith Daniel. Alongside with my team consists of Nabil, Farra Hanim and Syafiqah. Together we will be presenting about Malaysia Airport Holding Berhad.
Now I'm going to explain about Part A segmental reporting, MFRSA. MASB established in 1991 and listed on the Malaysian Stock Exchange in 1999. Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad MAHB manages airports like KLIA, Penang and Langkawi. Its revenue sources include aircraft fees, retail, food services and ads. MAHB focuses on airport infrastructure development and engages in corporate social responsibility initiatives to support local communities and environmental conservation efforts.
Okay, now let's move to Chief of Decision Making, and that is Datuk Iskandar Mizal Mahmud as Managing Director in the company of Malaysia Airport Holding Berhad. So, roles and responsibility of him in the company is responsible for implementing policies, strategies and decisions adopted and agreed by the board. Other than that, is provide a structure that facilitates clear reporting to the board with high quality information and recommendation to enable informed decision in all aspects of the company's business and strategy. Lastly, is about report to and advise the board on all matters that materially affect the company and its performance, including any potential strategic or significant development prospect, and any underperforming business or activities of the company, and outline proposal to rectify the situation.
These types of segment is geographical segments that involve categorizing operations according to the location of MAHB managed airports, such as those found in Kuala Lumpur, Penang, Langkawi, Sabah and Sarawak. The group is structured into business and geographical segments, further categorized into airport and non-airport operations activities. In Malaysia operations, airport operation encompass managing, operating, maintaining airports like Kuala Lumpur International Airport, along with duty-free and non-dutiable goods services. Non-airport operation involve project and repair maintenance, hotel management, agriculture, and horticulture and other activities such as investment holdings. Overseas operations include managing Istanbul Sabiha Gökçen International Airport, ISGIA, and providing maintenance services at Hamad International Airport, HIA. For each segment, MHB would need to report. Segment revenue includes income from external customers and inter-segment revenue. Segment profit or loss factors in operating expense directly attributed to the segment and a share of common expenses. While segment assets and liabilities encompass assets and liabilities specific to each segment, along with a portion of common assets and liabilities, while for accounting policies will be determining by segment aggregation and disclosures.
Okay, now let's move on to company performance. MAHB performance are referring to this factor, and that is financial performance influenced by factors such as passenger traffic and operational efficiency. Other than that is operational performance such as service quality as in enjoyable passenger experience through the facilities. And next is strategy initiative as in infrastructure development. And lastly is challenges, capacity constraint during peak hour. So you can refer to this data we took from annual report of company MAHB. Okay, now let's talk about strategy focus, and we start from strength. And that is strategic location as in MAHB operates key airport in Malaysia including Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, positioned as a regional transportation hub. For the weaknesses, it depends on air travel, and that is MAHB revenue is heavily reliant on air travel, making it vulnerable to fluctuations in passenger number due to health crises such as COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, for the opportunities is tourism growth. Malaysia tourism industry offer opportunities for increasing passenger traffic and revenue, particularly with the government focus on promoting tourism initiative. Okay, for the threats, economic uncertainty, economic downturns, currency fluctuation and global economic instability can adversely impact air travel demand and affect the MAHB financial performance. Okay, so let's move on to the 10% threshold test. The business segment can be identified as a reportable segment when meets any one of the following quantitative threshold. When revenue and asset must be greater than or equal to 10% of combined revenue, an asset of all operating segment, while profit or loss must be greater than or equal to 10% of total profit or loss of making profit or loss. This is to identify whether it is reportable or non-reportable.
The threshold test of 10% determines the materiality of financial items or events. If they exceed this threshold, they are considered as significant and require disclosure in financial statements, ensuring stakeholders are informed about the entity's financial status. Reportable external segment revenue was identified in only two operations, which are airport services and project, also repair maintenance. In 2022, the threshold test revealed that only two operations, namely airport services and project and repair maintenance, had reportable external segment revenue as same as 2021.
Okay, so move to 70% of total revenue requirements. If operating segment does not meet the threshold to be reported separately, it still can be separately disclosed in management assessment. Combined external revenue of identified operating segment must be greater than or equal to 70% of total external revenue of the entity. And if total external revenue reported by operating segment less than 75% of total revenues, additional operating segment shall be identified, even if the segment failed of the 10% threshold.
2021, the total revenue requirement of 75% is achieved at 85.77%, indicating a 2.18% rise compared to 2022's. This suggests a higher level of revenue attainment in the prior year, highlighting potential shift in performance or criteria evaluation between the two periods. A decrease in the total revenue requirement to 75% compared to the previous year could indicate improved operational efficiency or performance changes in the business environment or revisions to assessment criteria. It may reflect enhanced internal processes, adaptation to market conditions, or adjustment in regulatory standards.
Moving on to FAR570 Interim Report MFRS 134. For the basis of preparation in interim reporting, MAHB have prepared in accordance with MFRS 134, IAS 34 and paragraph 9.2 of the main market listing requirements of Bursa Malaysia's securities berhad. MAHB prepared the interim reporting in accordance with Companies Act 2016 and will be read with the audited financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2021. Explanatory notes attached provide an explanation of events and transactions that are significant to an understanding of the changes in financial position and performance of the group since year-end 31st December 2021. Other than that, a MAHB financial statement is prepared under historical cost basis and is presented in Ringgit Malaysia, which will also the company's marginal currency where all values are to be rounded to the nearest thousand. Next, accounting policies. Significant accounting policies adopted in preparing these condensed consolidated interim financial statements are consistent with those of the audited financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2021, except for the amendment to MFRS 3116 and 137, which were adopted at the beginning of 1st January 2022. The application of the amendment had no material impact on the financial position or disclosure in the group's financial statement. MFRS 116, property, plant and equipment are measured at cost less accumulated depreciation and any accumulated impairment loss, including expenditures that directly attribute to the acquisition of the PPE. According to the MAHB policy, depreciation is calculated using straight line basis to write off the cost of each asset to its residual value over the estimated useful life at the following annual rate. MFRS 138, intangible assets, is recognized when it meets the definition and recognition criteria of probable future economic benefit and costs can be measured reliably. It is also measured initially at cost and comprise purchase price such as taxes, less trade discounts and rebates, plus any directly attributable cost of preparing the asset for intended use.
For the next one is types of interim report used by Malaysian Airport Holding Berhad. MAHB prepared the interim report based on integral method, where the report is a fraction of the annual report. Items are recognized on the basis of estimating the total annual revenue and expenses and allocating them to the interim period accordingly. There were no unusual items affecting asset, liabilities, equity, net income or cash flow during the quarter and year ended 31st December 2022. Airport service, duty-free and non-dutiable goods segments, being the core business of the group, were not materially affected by any seasonality or cyclicality during the current quarter and financial year end to date. There were no dividends paid or declared during the current quarter, and based on auditor's report on the financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2022 was not qualified. Based on the company's interim report, they prepared their report based on quarterly basis. There are 5 types of report, which is condensed consolidated statement of company's income, changes in equity, profit or loss, financial position and statement of cash flow. The condensed consolidated financial statement for the first quarter commenced at 1st January until 31st March 2022. For the second quarter, 1st April until 30 June 2022. For the third quarter, 1 July until 30 September. And for the last quarter, 1 October until 31st December 2022. Top line revenue for the current year quarter surged by 81% year on year to 1,200,000 from 551,000 ringgit. For the full year, revenue surged by 86% year on year to 3,127,000 from 1,672,000 ringgit. Profit after tax for the current year quarter surged by 163% year on year to 359,000 from a loss of 136,000 previously. For the full year, profit after tax surged by 309% year-on-year to 187,000 from a loss of 766,000 previously. Next, I will be presenting about period for the current and comparative for MAHB. For the statement of financial position, quarter ended 31st December 2022 will be compared with financial year end 31st December 2021. For the statement of changes in equity, 12 months ended 31st December 2022 will be compared with 12 months ended 31st December 2021. For the statement of cash flow, 12 months ended 31st December 2022 will be compared with 12 months ended 31st of December 2021. For statement of profit or loss, quarter ended 31st December 2022 and 12 months ended 31st December 2022 will be compared with quarter ended 31st of December 2021 and 12 months ended 31st December 2021. For the statement of financial position, quarter ended 31st December 2022 will be compared with financial year end 31st December 2021. For the statement of changes in equity, 12 months ended 31st December 2022 will be compared with 12 months ended 31st December 2021. For the statement of cash flow, 12 months ended.
Lastly, the proposed adjustment to be included in the interim report includes adjustment on intangible asset and trade receivable. Adjustment 1. On 1 October 2022, the cost of intangible asset is Rm 14,477,792. On the same date, MHB acquired additional intangible asset amounting to 101,908. It is initially measured at cost. The useful life of the computer software shall be indefinite and not subject to amortization. Instead, it should be tested annually for any impairment or if there are indications of impairment. Any impairment will be recognized in financial statement. Therefore, the net carrying amount is Rm 14,579,700. Adjustment 2. The net carrying amount of trade receivable is 90% of the amount of trade receivable as at 31st December 2022, amounting to Rm 400,2020. The table shows an extract of Statement of Financial Position for the year ended 31st December 2022 for MAHB.